taking a plea deal or making a statement like that's considered snitching. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So do you? I don't want to say encourage people to take a plea deal or make a statement, but like, do you see like okay, sometimes this is the best result, and I feel like you should take a plea deal or a statement in some
Yeah.
situations.
So making a statement, almost never.
Mm,
Taking a plea deal, every single case, I would say almost every time we have a discussion about that. But there's a difference between being a snitch and making statements on others versus accepting responsibility for what a person did. Um, I found that over the years, a lot of times I'm able to work good deals for people because I have relationships with prosecutors, judges know me, and I think I'm good at what I do.
definitely.
And so I go to people and I say, hey, look, I think we got this argument, or we could beat the case if we take this risk. But here's what they're offering you, and I know based on my experience with this judge, you'll probably walk out of court with probation.
Yeah.
And so I give people, all my clients make the final choice. I never ever tell a person 100% that they have to do a certain thing. But different cases, I will put different amounts of pressure on people if I think it's in their best interest to go a certain direction. I don't like to leave it up to I know the client makes a final decision about trial or plea deal, but most people haven't been through this before.
Right.
And they're really hiring you to give them, not to tell them what to do, but to try to get them to go to the right point. And you can't get there unless you have trust with people. And you can't get trust with people unless you actually spend the time working with them. That's why if you just sign someone up and 2 weeks later you ram into telling them to take some plea deal, like that's just, you shouldn't do business that way unless there's an exceptional circumstance. That's
Right.
like, you're not going to develop a relationship with the client.
Definitely.
So when you asked about Slenderman, like, why did that case take 5 years, or why is it still going on 10 years later?
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes cases wrap up quickly, and I usually charge flat fees. It's usually somebody's just paying a certain amount to handle all the way through. Um, that I'll do what it takes to get them the best outcome. So I don't ever make the advice to a person or give the advice to a person, hey, wrap this up, because I'm thinking in the back of my head, I want to cash out and just be done with the case. Like, I would develop a shitty reputation real quickly if I did that.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to charge fees. Obviously, you didn't ask this, but they're like high enough so that you don't ever have that feeling of like, oh, I didn't charge what I should, and now you're dealing with competing interests. Like, you got to just stay zeroed in on what's best for the client.